Move on to matters politics. Opposition leader Raila Odinga Thursday failed at his attempt to convince NASA senators to overturn the removal of his coalition partner Moses Wetangula from the Senate minority leader post. And as our political affairs reporter Murimi Mwangi reports, a NASA senator's retreat in 2 weeks could seal Wetangula's fate for good.
Only 2 days after the National Super Alliance senators defied coalition leadership to eject Ford Kenya boss Moses Wetangula from the Senate minority leader's post, Opposition Chief Raila Odinga made a last-ditch attempt to rescue his coalition partner.
Members of the Senate are going to go to a retreat within the next 14 days to discuss several outstanding issues regarding the operations in the Senate.
But the retreat may yet again not rescue Wetangula from the cold. You are indeed. As it emerged that his apology to NASA senators, who previously accused him of arrogance and inefficiency, had fallen on deaf ears. A section of NASA senators reportedly asking Odinga and his deputy Kalonzo Musyoka to first sort out their differences within the four-man NASA summit before meddling in the affairs of their legislators. New minority leader James Orengo seemingly getting his last laugh as his colleagues now scheme to use the retreat to pick his deputy.
I want to call on my friend Jim Orengo because he knows the importance of this decision. I don't want my friend Jim Orengo to be the one to go down in history as the one who collapsed in NASA.
Issues of the leadership in the Senate is what was in contention. And we've agreed that the senators will discuss that issue and resolve it, after which then communication is going to be made to the Speaker.
ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi, who skipped the Thursday meeting, had last week warned Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala of likely disciplinary action over his participation in Wetangula's ouster. Contrary to party position, Malala and ODM-elected Narok Senator Ledama Olekina are jostling for the deputy minority leader's post. The backroom lobbying happening amidst is quiet after Odinga sidestepped his coalition partners during his March 9th cooperation handshake with his arch-political nemesis, President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Thank you.
Wetangula's Ford Kenya party had, in protest to his ouster, planned to hold rallies across the country, alongside Kalonzo and Mudavadi, whose radical loyalists have been pushing the three to eject Odinga from the coalition and begin a nationwide NASA revitalization campaign, excluding Odinga.
That MOU is very comprehensive and is something that has been signed between the two of us, and we have every intention to ensure that it is implemented.
We are all together, and we have restated the unity of NASA. If at our level we take that position, I'm sure our respective members of parliament and MCAs stand appropriately guided.
Now, with Wetangula's ouster increasingly becoming difficult to overturn, the 2 weeks retreat could help seal or widen the evident cracks between the summit and the NASA parliamentary group. Murimi Mwangi, KTN News in Nairobi.
All right, and that's a story that is the headlines of the Star. But on the Standard, we also have Raila attempt to save Wetangula, hates a snag. Let's look at the headlines for the Star. Weta to lose hefty perks as senators dig in. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've had this discussion before. We have seen now Raila, kind of whip everybody up and literally get the senators together from ODM, but it doesn't seem to have drawn water. From some pundits, they say that it is apparent, or rather, Wetangula's fate is already sealed, and even the retreat may not yield much. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Let's start with you, Joe.
Yeah, Wetangula should have realized this long time ago that his case is closed. Whatever they are trying to do is not going to be. You
don't think the retreat may be able to yield something out of it such that they reinstate him?
The retreat is not to try and resolve Wetangula's case. The retreat is because that you can see the quote here that during the meeting it emerged there there were weighty matters.
Weighty matters. One of them, I would imagine, one of the weighty matters would be Wetangula's fate.
No, Wetangula's case is not the one which is prompting for them to go for retreat. Yeah. So Wetangula's case is sealed. He should move on. You can see even among the principal who missed out is Honorable Mudavadi, and for simple reason that the meeting is not going to yield any fruit. So they were just going there for, I don't know.
A cup of tea.
Yeah, a cup of tea.
And enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Sandra, do you bear the same sentiments that there's actually no hope for Wetangula's return? And maybe then the headlines on the Star would be accurate that he's going to lose hefty perks.
I think he lost them the day the decision was made. And ideally, that if there was anything being done to salvage him, then this retreat should have happened before the Senate decision, was made. So that is just an indication that it's not going to yield much as the media is talking about. And looking at the picture right there,
The three of them.
The three of them. I think
yes, we have Weta and Orengo,
Yes.
well, separated by one Kalonzo Musyoka.
and arbitrator in between. I think as a politician, you must learn the art of pretense. You know, you must learn it and embrace it and be very good at it.
Of course, and
despite the challenges that you face.
Yes, and the question here, of course, would be whether those smiles are genuine and what may be playing behind. But another thing to wonder, Joe, is there has been accusations that Raila is behind the ouster of Wetangula. But here he is, you know, literally in the front line trying to say, guys, let's not destroy NASA.
Raila is behind the ouster.
You still think he's
Wetangula? Because I can tell you from this perspective. You remember the case of ODM goons, the Bangor election? Yes. And what emerged later. What happened, those men in black, Raila was aware of that scene. Raila was aware of what was going to happen during the election. Then the second thing is about when Mudavadi was being forced out of ODM first time when he was a real ODM. Raila was aware. The Ruto's case is the same. Ababu Namwamba's case is the same. So Wetangula's case cannot be an exception.
An exception.
Yeah, but that's the kind of Raila politics. Second thing you can realize, quickly ODM has now replaced, now they have a Secretary General. Initially we thought it was Agnes Zani. Now they have Edwin Sifuna. Where does Edwin Sifuna come from? Bungoma County, where Moses Wetangula comes from. Then another person who is being fronted for the deputy minority whip is Cleophas Malala, comes from Kakamega. You can clearly see footprints of Raila in this. Yeah, there's a game plan. But I don't know why Wetangula is not seeing this thing.
Maybe he's seeing it, but then the question would be, Raila is not known to be a coward. He's not somebody who is afraid to call a spade a spade. Why would he be playing double speak? Because one time we see him coming out to say that, guys, we need to resolve this and have Wetangula put back. But at the same time, there are those who are saying, including one senator we had here yesterday from Wiper Party, and basically he says his words. He said he does not trust Raila. Why would he be playing coward or double speak? He's not a coward normally.
Well, I think it's largely politics because from post the 2017 elections, I think one of the images that he's tried to portray is that one of a victim. You know, I was left alone, I was abandoned, I was betrayed and whatnot, and yet we are seeing all these underhand deals. They are from both ends of the divide. So for him, I believe he has this constituency that he's given this narrative that he must continue maintaining, and at the same time, he must also be seen as still being the leader of this coalition. So he has a lot of stake at a personal level, even as he reinvents himself moving forward towards 2022. Even for myself, I wouldn't believe that he's all innocent in all this. I think it's properly orchestrated to secure his interests, to secure ODM interests as the coalition moves forward.
All right, well, we'll wait and see. And also, as we review the week, we'll be looking at what political analysts have to say about the current situation in NASA, and not just in NASA, but also Jubilee. Jubilee has been fairly quiet in terms of we've not had anything vocal. We've not even had them, apart from the deputy president lauding the handshake. After that, we've not really had much from them.
Yeah, I think for the party, I mean, for the Jubilee Party and government, they're busy implementing the Big Four.
The Big Four.
The Big Four agenda.
That would be a good thing if that's what they're doing. The rest are side shows.
Actually, and that's one thing I like about President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Deputy President William Ruto. These gentlemen are too busy focusing on development matters. They have let politics for NASA to do their politics, since they're the ones who are in opposition, who can do politics Monday to Monday, year January to January. Yeah, because you can see the president's diary. He was in Cuba, he came back in the country, he went to Rwanda, he came back. Yesterday, he launched the Ngong Road Phase 2. You can see this is somebody who has a clear roadmap of how he's going to achieve his
Big Four.
Yeah, his Big
And
Four.
of course, he has a legacy to protect right now, because really, it's his last term, and he definitely would want to leave a good name. Yeah.
And you remember yesterday we were discussing the formation of NASA and what it is or was meant to achieve post the election. And I think you get to see the difference between these two groups and the difference between the kind of vision they had. For Jubilee, you've seen they've been more or less compact right from 2013, with a clear vision of where they want to go, even post the 2022 election. You can see this is a well thought out plans, very strategic, putting individuals who also understand their vision and mission in place to ensure that the activities are going on. Okay. So I think it's also a good lesson learned. My hope is that Jubilee will continue in the same spirit, even post 2022, to at least help in breaking this narrative of parties that come in just to win the elections with no proper vision and agenda for the people post an election period.
If I didn't know you too well enough, I'd have thought you're holding brief for Jubilee. But you speak very well of Jubilee. But anyway, time will tell. You know, they have, there's this saying that time has a way of proving things out. So we'll wait and see whether that is really their plan. Because the other person who's very, very quiet, and like him, is Sonko. I was thinking about it the other day in Nairobi County. Sonko is one who would have expected to be a bit more noisy, but he's very quiet. Do you think he's quietly working?
I think Sonko has realized that for you to run and manage Nairobi, you don't need to be...
It's not noise.
It's not noise. You need to be working. Yeah.